Dear families, which have just released the term progress reports, we want to take this opportunity to quickly explain some points about the evaluation process and the next steps. So, how do we evaluate the children? In our school, we do continuous assessments that help students learn and self monitor, and it allows us to monitor their growth and to adjust our teaching. Here's some little graphics that summarizes it. In an IB school, you'll often hear that we do three types of assessments. We have assessment for learning, assessment as learning, and assessment of learning. The assessment for learning is what allows us teachers to get information about our students' knowledge and understanding and skills and allows us to inform our teaching. Now, with this information, we can provide the students feedback about their learning and how they can improve. Assessment as learning is all student centered. It involves their self reflections and it involves the students making their own goals to be able to attain the skills that they need. And then finally, assessment of learning. This is think of it as the final test or final projects. It basically allows us as teachers to use evidence of the student learning to see to what extent they have met the learning outcomes or their learning goals. Traditionally, schools focus on the assessment of learning where they give a big emphasis on those final exams. At our school, and in IB schools, the model is different. The focus is on assessment as learning, where the students have more responsibility in creating their goals to be able to work towards the skills they need to acquire. Please remember that assessment is a process that is continuous. It's like an ongoing conversation that promotes the continuum of growth. A student is at the center of that conversation. So they have a peer that assess them. They have themselves assess themselves when they do the reflections, when they have conversations with you about their learning, and when the teacher assesses them. When the teacher assesses the students, they draw conclusions and they adjust their teaching. The student, on the other hand, will adjust their thinking, and this goes on and on and on. The reports will give you an overall view of your child. The comments have a general summary of what the children learn, the concepts, knowledge, and skills. It will speak to what extent the children have successfully met their learning outcomes at this point in time. Big emphasis on this at this point in time. We want to take this opportunity for you to go through the report with your children, to reflect and to help them create a plan to meet their targets that their teachers have suggested. We would like to have a copy of this plan as it also serves as a reflection of our curriculum. Thank you. We appreciate you. We welcome any feedback you have for us. And I want to quickly show you, for example, the templates that you will be working from. For kindergarten, this is the template that you will receive in an email and that you will have to work with the children. As you read the report and you look at the student portfolio, please ask these questions to the children and you can either let them write it or you can be the scribe and write what they say. So they have to rate themselves to talk about how they feel during their learning this term and how successful they think they did during their learning during this term. Then they have to think about what went really well, what are some areas that they need to try a little harder, and what is their plan. For grades 1 through 5, it's a little bit modified. However, it's the same type of thing, except that we want the upper grades to be able to write them themselves. Finally, for the early years, we have some very directed questions and activities that you can do to reflect with your children. For the upper grades in grade 6, we have a reflection as well, where the students will do this on their own as they go to the report with you. If you have any questions, please let us know, and we'll be very happy to assist you. Take care.